Are Christians uncircumcised? This is what Muslims are trying to paint the integrity of Christians for. They are saying Paul endorsed that we must be uncircumcised based on a cherry-picked and out-of-context material. It says, Galatians 5:2. Behold, I Paul say unto you, that if ye be circumcised, Christ shall profit you nothing. Unquote. By this verse alone they says, that we don't need to be circumcised because it's useless or unprofitable for Christ. Yet as I said, it is cherry-picked and ignorantly lacking of logic and context. Paul have two suggestions, namely, 1 Corinthians 7:18-19. 18, is any man called being circumcised? Let him not become uncircumcised. Is any called in uncircumcision? Let him not be circumcised. 19, circumcision is nothing, and uncircumcision is nothing, but the keeping of the commandments of God. Unquote. The first suggestion says, quote, is any called in uncircumcision, let him not be circumcised, unquote. Meaning, if you are converted to the church being uncircumcised, Paul suggested that it's better to remain like that. The second suggestion says, quote, circumcision is nothing, and uncircumcision is nothing, unquote. Meaning, circumcision has no value, neither uncircumcision, and for being that, implies that whether you let yourself be circumcised or not isn't important. It's worthless. Paul was giving us the option to be circumcised or not. Therefore, circumcision is optional. And uncircumcision is optional. Whether we are circumcised or not has no religious value at all. Christ won't profit from both of it because it's nothing. What is important, as Paul reiterated, is the keeping of commandment, faith, etc. Nothing in what Muslims assumed is correct because circumcision is never mandatory. They would say, it was an everlasting covenant. Genesis 17:13. 13. He that is born in thy house, and he that is bought with thy money, must needs be circumcised, and my covenant shall be in your flesh for an everlasting covenant. Unquote. Yes, it was an everlasting covenant for Abraham's seed. Christians are seed of Abraham, too, not as biological but in the adoptive sense. Let's read. Galatians 3:28-29. 28. There is neither Jew nor Greek, there is neither bond nor free, there is neither male nor female, for ye are all one in Christ Jesus. 29. And if ye be Christ's, then are ye Abraham's seed, and heirs according to the promise. Unquote. Yet, Paul abrogated that everlasting covenant because in biblical language everlasting or forever could be terminal, as how Jonah used the term, that he was forever under the sea, yet it was just 3 days. I don't need to show you that. Do your research. Therefore, using the Hebrew term, olam, that is, forever or everlasting, isn't a necessity to mean unending. It was terminal as Paul abrogated it. Quote, circumcision is nothing, and uncircumcision is nothing, unquote. For being nothing, whether you go for circumcision or not isn't important. Therefore, circumcision or uncircumcision is optional. Is that fair enough, Muslims? Use logic and you would eventually get it. God bless.